Good morning, children. You have studied about the classification of elements in the modern periodic table, and that you already know that the elements in the modern periodic table are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic numbers. Now we'll study here the cause of periodicity. In modern periodic table, the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. The elements with similar properties are repeated after regular intervals. That you can see the different groups are there. The periodical repetition of elements with similar properties after certain regular intervals, when the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number, is called periodicity. So when we arrange the elements in the modern periodic table, then after a certain interval there is the repetition of the property which makes a group. When you see the modern periodic table, the elements which are placed in the same group, they have similar properties. So when you see the electronic configuration for a particular group, the number of electrons present in the outermost shell is similar, and that's why there is the repetition of the properties. For example, the elements of the first group, which are called the alkali metals, they all have one electron in the outermost shell, and that's why they show similarity in their properties. So the periodic repetition of properties is due to the reoccurrence of similar valence shell electronic configuration after certain interval. So when you see in the periodic table, the elements which are placed in a group have similar electronic configuration, means they have same number of electrons in the outermost shell of an atom, and that's why they show similarity in their property. So first we can say the element you have seen for the first group element, then the similar for the second group element which are placed in the second groups. They all have two electrons in the outermost shell, and that's why they show the similar properties. So in this way we can say the cause of periodicity, that is the repetition of similar electronic configuration after certain interval. So this is the reason behind for the periodicity, or we can say the reoccurrence of the properties of the element. And the next is the nomenclature of elements with atomic number greater than 100. The elements beyond uranium, that is atomic number is equal to 92, are known as transuranic elements because they have radioactive properties. The elements beyond fermium, Z is equal to 100, are known as transfermium element because they are placed after fermium, so they are called as transfermium element. These elements have atomic numbers 101 onwards. The elements fermium, Z is equal to 100, that is the atomic number is equal to 100. Mendelevium, Z is equal to 101. Nobelium, atomic number 102, and lawrencium, atomic number 103, are named after the names of famous scientists. Normally, we do the naming of the element either on the basis of the name of the scientist or on the basis of the name of place, etc. When the elements with Z greater than 103 were synthesized, the synthesis of some of these elements were reported almost simultaneously by scientists in United States and is erstwhile Soviet Union, and each group proposed different name. For example, the element with the atomic number 104 was named as Rutherfordium and by American scientists. And that's why one system was synthesized by the IUPAC nomenclature. So we have to study here the IUPAC nomenclature for the elements which have atomic number greater than 100. All the numbers are formed by using the digits from 0 to 9. And that's why they gave some abbreviation from 0 to 9. For 0 we write nil, for 1 we write un, and for 2 we write bi, for 3 we write tri, 4 we write quad, 5 we write pent, 6 we write hex, 7 we write sep, for 8 we write oct, and 9 we write NENN. And then the abbreviation are there. For nil we write N, for un we write U, for bi B, tri T, quad Q, and pent for P, hex for H for hex, S for sept, O for oct, and E for 9. Similarly, the elements with the atomic number 105 to 112 were named as given in the table. So we write, suppose an element which has atomic number 103. For 1 we write N, for 0 we write nil, and then for 3 we write tri. So we write nil trium. Then EM we use, YUM we use for the elements because they all are metal. So in this way we can write the name of some elements. So suppose the atomic number 113, then we write trium. 115 we can write pentium. For 107 we can write septium. So in this way we can write the name of the element which have atomic number greater than 100. Now we study the division of periodic table into S, P, D and F blocks on the basis of electronic configuration. The long form of periodic table can be divided into four main blocks. These are S, P, D and F blocks. The division of elements into blocks is primarily based upon their electronic configuration. The first block is S block element. The elements in which the last electrons enter the S subshell of their outermost energy level are called S block elements. Since S subshell have only one orbital which can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons, so only two groups, that is group 1 in which the alkali metals are placed and group 2 in which the alkaline earth metals are placed. These groups lie on the extreme left of the periodic table. Because the capacity of S orbital is 2, that's why there are only two groups in S block. Now we'll see the general characteristics of elements of this block are the general electronic configuration of elements of this block is NS122, where N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Thus, the valence shell configuration of alkali metals is NS1 and of alkaline earth metal is NS2. All the metals which are placed in the first group, they have only one electron in the outermost shell. They are called as alkali metals. And the metals which are placed in the group number 2, they are called as alkaline earth metals. And all these elements are having two electrons in their outermost shell. That is related to their electronic configuration. All the elements which are placed in the same group, they have the same electronic configuration. The second point is these are soft metals with low melting and boiling points. Because of their lower ionization enthalpy, these metals are highly reactive and hence never found pure in nature. Reactivity of these metals increases on moving down the group as the distance between the valence electron and nucleus increases. They are good reducing agent. Generally, the compounds of S block elements are ionic in nature. These are electropositive and metallic elements. Their metallic character also increases on moving down the group. Now we'll study the p block elements. The elements in which the last electron enters in any of the 3p orbitals of their respective outermost shell are called p block element. Since p subshell can accommodate a maximum of 6 electrons, thus 6th group, that is group number 13 to 18, belong to this block. Elements of group 15, 16, 17 and 18 are respectively known as nicogens, chalcogens, halogens and noble gases. Group number 13 to 18 are present at the extremely right of the periodic table. Now we will study the general characteristic of the p block element. The first point, the outermost electronic configuration of these elements varies from NS2 NP1 to NS2 NP6. This is the general electronic configuration for the p block elements. They show variable oxidation state. They form ionic as well as covalent compound. Third point, they have relatively higher values of ionization energy. Fourth point, most of them are non-metals. Or normally all the non-metals are placed in the p block. Most of them are highly electronegative. Sixth point, most of them form acidic oxide because they are non-metal. They form acidic oxide. Now we will study about the d block elements. The elements in which the last electron enters the d subshell of the penultimate shell, because we always fill n-1d. So from outermost shell, second shell is called as penultimate shell. Penultimate energy level are called as d block element. Their general valence shell configuration is n-1d 1 to 10 ns 0 to 2. When n represents the outermost energy level, d block contains 3 complete rows of 10 elements in each. Because the capacity of the d orbital is 10, that's why there are the 10 groups in the d block. D block contains 3 complete rows of 10 elements in each. The fourth row is incomplete. The 3 rows are called first, second and third transition series. They involve the filling of 3d, 4d and 5d orbitals respectively. The d block contains elements of group 3 to 12 of the periodic table. The d block is placed between S and p block. and that's why they are called as transition elements. The general characteristics of D block elements are: the first, they are hard, high melting metal. Second point, they show variable oxidation state. Third point, they form colored compound. Fourth point, they form ionic as well as covalent compound. Fifth point, most of them exhibit paramagnetism. Sixth point, most of them possess catalytic property. Seventh point, they form alloys. For example, brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Eighth point, they are good conductor of heat and electricity. On one side of the D block metals, there are reactive elements of group number 1 and 2, and on the right hand side, there are less reactive elements of group number 13 and 14. The transition elements form a bridge between the reactive metals of group 1 and 2 and less reactive elements of group 13 and 14. That is why D block elements are called as transition element. Now the fourth block is F block elements. The elements in which the last electron enters the F sublabel of the anti-penultimate, that is third to the outermost shell, are called F block elements. Their general electronic configuration is N-2 F1 to 14, N-1 D 0 or 1, and NS2, where N represents the outermost shell, N-1 represents the penultimate shell, and then the N-2 show anti-penultimate shell. They consist of two series of elements placed at the bottom of the periodic table. The elements of first series follow lanthanum and are called as lanthanoids. The elements of second series follow actinium and are called as actinoids. Actinoid elements are radioactive. Many of them have been made only in nanogram quantities or even less by nuclear reactions. Chemistry of actinoids is complicated and is not fully studied. The general characteristics of F block elements are: they show variable oxidation states, they are high melting metals, they have high densities. Fourth point, they form complexes, most of which are colored. Fifth point, most of the elements of actinide series are radioactive, and the most of the after lanthanoids, they are used to form very important alloys. So in this way we can classify the elements in the four blocks: S, P, D and F block elements. The elements of group 18, the last column of the P block, are known as inert gases or noble gases. The elements of S and P blocks are called as representative elements because S and P orbitals are filled always in the outermost shell. So the elements of S and P block are called representative element. We fill D n-1 and F is n-2. They have their only outermost shell incomplete. They are known as main group elements. The elements of D block are called as transition elements, and the elements of F block are called as inner transition element. The F block elements after uranium are called as transuranium element. So this is the classification of the elements in the blocks. Then we will solve some problem that is based on the long form of the periodic table. That means now you have to locate the position of an element in the periodic table on the basis of their electronic configuration.